Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name introducing my Muhammad Farras Fatih. My name 9008 6200. Lesson 1. What is story basketball in Indonesian? Story basketball in Indonesian is the game of basketball has a long history in Indonesia, initially starting with the influx of immigrants from China to Indonesia in the 20 years. The Chinese migrants brought the game of basketball, which had already developed in China. They formed their own community, including establishing a school called the Chinese School. At that school, basketball is a minority sport that every student studying there must play. It is not surprising that every school has a basketball playing field, and it is not surprising that basketball players who play prominently come from this Chinese school. History says since the 30 years, although not yet officially an independent country, several cities in Indonesia already have local basketball clubs. After the proclamation of independence on August 17, 1945, the sport of basketball began to be widely known in cities that become the basis of Starjal, such as Yogyakarta and Solo. Even though it doesn't have a national sport parent yet, at the time of the first National Sports Weeks, which was held in Solo in 1948, the game of basketball was played for the first time at the national level and received a lively reception, both from the viewpoint of the audience and from the participants alone. Then 3 years after that, on 23 October 1955, the All Indonesia Basketball Association was formed, and then in 1955, due to the improvement of the name according to the rules of the Indonesian language, the basketball organization changed its name to Indonesia Basketball Association, Perbasi. Perbasi began to be accepted as a member FIBA Basketball Federation the International in 1953, and a years after that, for the first time, Indonesia sent basketball teams to the Manila Asian Games. This time, April 1982 has history that for the basketball world in Indonesia, because on that day the match between the Jakarta Raja Wali clubs against the Spirit of Sinar Surya Yogyakarta marked the start of the main basketball competition, which was the first time as well as a first step in a long story competition among the top clubs in Indonesia. The Indonesia Muda Jakarta Basketball Registration itself as the first club to win the prestigious Kabata Champions title. Finally, after experiencing ups and downs for nearly 13 years, in the last few years, the sport of basketball grown so rapidly. This was preceded by the holding of the Deteksi Basketball League DBL, which was packaged so attractively that it was able to give its own color in student level competition in Indonesia, and interesting student level competition in each region made the competition prestige at the Indonesia student level even higher. The followed by the rise of the men's professional basketball leagues, which was originally known as Kobatama, which is now the Indonesia National Basket League, and also the women's professional basketball leagues, which is now as the Women National Basketball League. However, do not forget the regular competition from Perbasi, which are still regularly held both at the national level of age group, between club, between provincial administrator, Libanas, and so on, making the atmosphere of basketball competition in Indonesia more vibrant. Well, that's a brief summary of the story of the development of basketball in Indonesia, with the author can discuss. Question number 2. What is basketball? Basketball is a group ball sport consisting of 2 teams of 5 people, each who competes to score points by putting the ball in the opponent's basket. Basketball can be on and off court, although professional matches are generally played in an enclosed space. Question number 3. Basketball game idea. The idea of playing basketball is to show all the techniques, because in basketball we are required to keep the ring and put the ball in the ring to get points.
Yeah.
Okay, question number 4 is techniques in basketball. Let me show you. Technique number 4 is chest pass. Techniques yang kedua ni lah. Technique number 2 is bond pass. Is the ball in the bond. Technique pasan.
Yeah.
Technique number 3 is overhead pass. Dari dribble lah.
Yeah.
Okay, technique number 2, point number 1, high dribble. Okay, technique number 2, next technique is dribble low.
Yeah.
Next technique is shooting. Let me show you. Sekali dah lah, 2 kali.
Tengok suap.
Sama. Next technique is layup.
Ya.
Okay, thank you for attention my videos about basketball. Finally, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.